What's up, YouTube? This is Extreme Chevy coming at you with another video regarding my truck. Been working on it already. As you can tell, I got my rear suspension all done finally with the upgrades for dropping it 4 inches. Got the springs and shocks in all the right way. Everything's mounted in. It's good to go. And right now I'm working on installing my steering shaft and column. That's what I'm putting in here. With what I'm putting in here, it's going to be the same look right here in the dash with old style looking gauges and everything, which is going to be really cool. It's going to be the white with the black needles and with chrome around the edges. But right now what I'm doing is I'm working on installing my steering, which is, let me adjust this for you, that way you guys can see this all correctly. Sorry about this. Yeah. Okay, yeah. See, I'm building the steering up. And there we go. Hope you guys can see that just fine. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm cutting the steering rod right now to go in between the steering column. It's going to go between this joint right here and here. And I measured it out to 16 inches and 5/8 for in between here. And right now that's what I'm doing, is cutting this to the length that I need right here. Now I put a little bit of oil on here as I'm making my cut to keep things a little cool, and then once it's done I can clean it all off, but because I don't want this to get too hot, because if you do, it can warp. So you don't want that to happen. You want this to be nice and straight when you install it. So I'm taking a break, I'm cutting a little bit, taking a break, letting it cool down, doing it again, letting it cool down. That way it doesn't get too hot and doesn't warp. But putting a little bit of oil on there helps. So I'm going to put this back in the vise. And because that's what's holding it for me. And I'm resting the other end on top of the jack, which I'll show you guys right now. I'm going to turn this thing around, that way you can see what I'm doing. Okay. There we are, right there. Got it in the vise. Yeah, it's kind of low, but that's my bike ramp that I have, that I put my bike on when I work on it, because that brings it up to a nice height and level and everything for me. And it makes it really nice, and it's not one of those cheap ones either. It's a very heavy-duty bike ramp, so that's what I'm going to be doing right there. Let me back off a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and should be able to make the last cut now on this. And don't forget your safety goggles. Even though I wear glasses, I still wear a shield across my face, because you never know what can happen. You don't want those sparks coming back in your face. So clean this up a little bit and throw it on the old head. Okay. Put this, I don't want that kitchen on fire. Over. Yeah, yesterday I pushed this thing all off here and did maintenance on my bike, did the oil change and everything. But I'm going to go ahead and let's go and get this done. said, you want to do a little bit at a time, because if you do too much at one time, it'll get too hot. And you don't want that. You don't want to get too hot because it can warp. And what I got here is I got it resting in here, but also resting on my little jack right here to keep it nice and flat. That way that doesn't start, the weight of this won't bend anything with the weight. It's keeping it nice and level. So let's do a little bit more here. This should be almost done. Just a little bit more, but it'll be done soon. I just don't want to get too hot. Yeah, the oil's pretty much dried up now from the heat, but it's sure helping it, keeping it cool. It sure is. And right now there's a cool breeze, so it's helping out too. Alright, I think I'm almost there. You know what? I'm gonna bring it up to right here. Put that down level on this side. Yeah, that right there. Good and level. Tighten it back up. Make sure you're good and level on this, that way it doesn't warp on you. And then let's see if we can get the rest of this. Got that all cut up. Not too bad, but we'll clean it up on the grinder. Let's unplug this. Always make sure you unplug your tools after you're done with them. I've seen too many people hurt themselves not making sure their stuff is unplugged. And this is the excess piece, and this is the one we're going to be using. So, yeah, we're going to clean that up on the grinder. And that's going to be over here. I'm going to bring it to right here. I don't want to get too close to it with the camera. There's the grinder. Alright. Let me get it plugged in. And we're ready to go. Now, I've been doing this stuff for years. I know what I'm doing, but if you're unsure, even though these are welding gloves, they'll protect your hands better than most things. Right here. So I'm just going to clean up the end of this, get it flattened, and pretty good. That's pretty flat. And we'll clean that up over here on the wire wheel. Stop that. Well, and there you go. Completely nice and flat, clean, all ready to go. Be installed onto the truck. All right. And before we can install it though, I need to loosen up the column from the inside, that way I can slide it, because I can't just slide it, put it in like this, because this has to be able to slide down onto here. But what I can do, oh, I tightened that up a little bit, I'm sorry. Let me get the Allen wrench, loosen that up. I just got it a little snug, there we go. So what's going to happen is it's going to go in here like this. Oh yeah, I don't have, yeah, I got this stuff. There we go. Let me just make sure I got it to where I can push this all the way in. Well, what I need to do is make a mark on this right here. It'll let me know how far I'm in. Because you need to make sure you're going in far, all the way in. So I'm going to make a mark right here. You see that? Lets me know how far I need to go in on each one. I'm going to do the same thing on here. Mark it. I know where I need to go into. And for this one, that's right there. It's the same distance on both sides for each one. And that's where we need to go into. Okay. But for right now, I just want to put it temporarily in because I want to mark on these, because I want to put a slight indent to where when these tighten down, they're countersunk a little bit. And they'll be a much better hold. So it's not getting in there. I got something hanging. There we go. Let me get these out a little bit more. There we go. Alright. There we go. Alright, there we go. There. Now once I get it into there, I'm going to go ahead and take these all the way out and not lose them. Alright, we'll put these up here, that way they don't roll away on us. And somehow, hopefully I could do it with this. Let me grind it a little bit to where it can go all the way in there. There we go, that's all I did is I made it a little pointer. That way I can get it in there and mark those where I need to put a countersink in there. So now I can see where to put the countersink in just a little bit. That way when I tighten it up, it holds it much better. I'm going to do that for both sides. It's like, here we go. I'll go ahead and put this in here because this goes on this side. Here we go. It goes into right there. You don't want to put it in too far because then it could bind up inside here. It restricts movement. So, but you want it to go past the inside, just like that. So now I'll take these out. Like that. Put them to where they won't roll away. And now I can mark this. And now I could put a counter seat in that. Just a little bit though. You don't want to go too far because it can wink in this bar. You don't want that. Okay, I'm going to go do that. I just need to change over stuff. I'll be right back.